My name is James Rowlands, and in 2015 I started a WNR podcast with my friend
Dan White. And for 5 years we have brought you the very best of the network, but it's time for a change.
Now we don't just confine ourselves to Vinnie Mac, bring you AEW, Impact, NJPW and all the latest for the British wrestling scene.
But we will still bring you all our old favourites, including NXT Update, takeovers and live shows for the Big Four.
This year we will decide who is the greatest British wrestler in the world, plus so much more.
But until we watch everything, we are with you, and
we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and as always, I'm joined by
Dan White.
And today it's the WNR287. It's Money in the Bank. But before we get on to that, we just want to talk about quickly the response that we've had from our 5th anniversary show. And of course, doing this for 5 years, we got DMs from them as well, which is really, really nice to know, you know, that they're still about. And, you know, of course, we appreciate, you know, the old, and of course we did a couple of shout outs to the people who were mentioning on the podcast as well, Dan, didn't we, you know?
Done some of from the comments about their live experiences.
Yeah, I mean, there was like loads of people who would like to say thank you for all the likes and the responses for that as well. You know, we really appreciated it. And then what we did after that on Twitter was basically post the 3 matches that we watched, didn't we, Dan? Because we, on the 27th of October 2013, we'd watched Ricochet versus Will Ospreay. And the event was called Enter the Dragon. It was our first wrestling event together, which is a lot of history there, isn't it?
Yes, it was the Battle of the 630s. Absolutely brilliant match. And again, rewatching it, not only seeing ourselves in the crowd and getting excited by that, but just the action that we got to witness live and in person. Yeah,
without doubt. And then we did the second one as well. Was our second event, and it was when Marty Scurll... Well, I told him he sucks, didn't I? So we got the video there as well. And the third and final one, Dan?
And the last match featured was the Young Bucks versus the Inner City Machine Guns, Ricochet and Rich Swann. Again, absolutely brilliant match between the 4 guys and the famous 4-way super kick as well.
Yeah. And where can we find that video if we want to watch it, Dan? That would maybe give your Twitter a plug.
Oh, yes. It is Vince McMahon WWE. It's my pinned post, so, you know, basically account straight at the top, and it's there.
Yeah, and I mean, we've had, like we said, loads and loads of views of the videos that we put up, but one video especially because then someone retweeted basically with a comment, and it was a pretty big comment, down, wasn't it? You know, because it was the one and only Will Ospreay.
Yes, he obviously appreciates our stuff, and he put, so this was the first ever meeting between me and Ricochet at Rev Pro. The thing I loved about this one, other than these guys popping for Suck It, him in moonsault and got something truly that he'd never seen before, and you know, you didn't know what UK could actually produce.
You were shouting moonsault. He's talking about you, Dan. How great is that?
Oh no.
So they're on there, and like I said, a fantastic response to everybody that kind of liked and retweeted and commented on it. We really enjoyed, like we said, that was a Sunday, and then of course we got on to the Money in the Bank event, and we got on Twitter in a little bit after we've watched Money in the Bank, and we talk about what happened since then. But yeah, let's start the episode proper. So the WNR287. But Dan, what are your thoughts on the anniversary, especially Will Ospreay using us on Twitter, basically?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant response. Still to get the elusive Joey Ryan follow, but I'm sure that will come in time. I've heard through the Twitter sphere he's saving himself for the 10,000th follow.
Wow.
Because, you know, he wants to get a big milestone. But yeah, you know, it was an absolutely great episode going back through all the things I've seen as well. You know, it's a good way to do an anniversary. No
doubt, and like I said, it's probably one of my favourite episodes that we've done, so go back and listen to it. And we'd just like to again thank Will Ospreay for, mentioned us, taking time out in his day to watch a bit of the WNR podcast. You know what I'm saying? No, that's all. We appreciate that. So let's get on to Money in the Bank 2020, Len. And the alternate intro. No, Dan, I have no money on my mind. No money on my mind. No money on my mind. No, I have no money on my mind. No money in my mind. I've got no money in my mind. Actually, I have, because it is Money in the Bank. So you looking forward to the event, Dan? Money in the Bank 2020?
I am looking forward to it. Yeah, again, it's going to be a completely different structure of the show, obviously, with the way that WrestleMania went. I'm kind of looking along them lines. And again, WrestleMania, I thought it was a whole. So, hopefully Money in the Bank is kind of up there with that, as opposed to being kind of like a boring throwaway show.
I think without doubt. So let's get started. What better way is to kick off then with kickoff, and we're going to see the return of Jeff Hardy in action against Cesaro. But to make why does all this matter, Dan? We do the prediction league. Do you want to explain the prediction league for everybody?
Yes, we have 4 prediction leagues. We've got a WWE pay-per-view prediction league, in which we'll be adding to today. We have NXT prediction league. We have a bonus prediction league, and we have an AEW prediction league as well. Yeah,
and at the moment I lead AEW 1-0, but that could all change next weekend when we bring you 2 weeks time when we bring you double or nothing. The NXT is 2-1 to me. Bonus points, you are leading 9-8. And pay-per-views, it is 4-4 at the moment. Will change here tonight. Let's start with the predictions, Dan, in this one. Who have you gone for in this opener?
I have gone for the Swiss Superman, Cesaro.
What? Wow, you really were celebrating the 5th anniversary last weekend, weren't you?
Well, again, I think Cesaro's kind of not been given a push. He's been kind of on the back foot, so I think, a victory against a returning Jeff Hardy would be great for him.
Yeah, I mean, what doesn't really make sense is the kind of this match taking place, because Sheamus has been the one after Jeff Hardy for a matter of time, and then Cesaro gets him, but they're together, so I don't really understand. Are you happy to see Jeff Hardy back though as well?
Also, who have you gone for?
Oh, sorry, who have I gone for? I just get so excited about this. I have gone for Jeff Hardy in this matchup.
Jeff Hardy, do you think that's because his brother's been signed to AEW now and they want to kind of say, look, stay here, we'll give you victories? Or is it?
I completely. I think it is. Yeah, I definitely think it is. I think, Jeff's going to get like a kind of push, see how far he can go. I mean, it's good to see Jeff back because it's a bit star power. And I think in his first match back, he's going to get the victory. Unless, of course, maybe someone like Sheamus does cost him in this one. But are you pleased to see Jeff Hardy back?
I am pleased to see him back. Yeah, just how much longer he's going to be back for, you do not know, or, what the intentions are with him.
Where do you see Jeff Hardy in a year, Len? I mean,
probably mid-card title.
Mid-card, not thinking about going to AEW, depends, doesn't it? I mean, has he got one?
It depends kind of what happens injury for him, whether he gets the push or whether he goes to All Elite and kind of teams up and becomes Brother Nero.
Well, no, this is the thing. I mean, can Jeff Hardy have one last title run in him? Is that a possibility? It depends if he can get on straight, because there's no doubt Jeff has been a fantastic kind of superstar these past, 10, 15 years.
Okay, then. So the booking is in your hands. Jeff Hardy is basically saying, look, either push me strong or I'm going to AEW. And you can only choose one of these guys to be pushed strong and win a heavyweight championship. Which way are you going to go?
What, between Cesaro and Jeff Hardy?
Cesaro and Jeff Hardy,
if it was me in control.
If it was you in control, and Jeff Hardy says, look, if you don't push me, I'm going to AEW.
Yeah.
Cesaro says, I think it's my time. Choose one.
Personally, I picked Cesaro because I think... So
you pick Cesaro and risk losing Jeff Hardy?
Because Jeff, like you said, is in his last, part of his career. Cesaro, for me, still has... I don't think he's even reached his prime yet if given the chance. And I think this is the thing. It makes me sad when it sees someone like Cesaro being treated like this, And it's a shame. I know you more than anybody are a huge fan of what Cesaro can do and where he should be,
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that Cesaro should be up there pushed as a face as well. And, the amount of natural raw talent that the man has, I think is absolutely brilliant. In a great Cesaro, I'd like to see Cesaro be the one to dethrone Walter.
Well, I tell you what, this is the thing, and it's obviously WWE haven't got no faith in the kind of promo abilities that Cesaro can give. But, you know, his in-ring talent, and against someone like Walter, I think would be a perfect to kind of show that off. At the moment, he's kind of being used as a lackey, which is just, it's not good enough. And how long will that last until he's the kind of one who's saying, oh, hang on a minute, let me try somewhere else? Because there's no doubt, like I said, he's tremendously talented.
Absolutely, yeah. So on this, I'm going to put it out there on air as well. Are we doing cash-in, like, you know, how long the briefcases are going to be held for?
Well, we will have 2 cash-in cards, there's no doubt about that, like we do every year. And then if our picks do get it, then, I mean, that's great. But we'll have cash-in cards anyway, so we can decide when they do indeed do that.
Are you going to play one tonight? Because I think last year you played one on the night and you played the wrong one, and it was the other one that cashed in.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss cashed it. Was that last year? He cashed in, and then, yeah, my Money in the Bank picks haven't been great. They're almost as good as my tournament wins. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I've only about the history of that. But this match, like I said, these 2 guys are definitely good wrestlers, and they're definitely delivering, and it just shows you the kind of talent that both have got.
But I don't, again, get what the story is behind these 2. You know, I don't know what their motivation is, why Cesaro is targeting Jeff Hardy. Is it a favour for Sheamus, who he's kind of not associated with? Is it, you know, what's going on? Or is it just a match that would help elevate Jeff Hardy as well as push Cesaro? Because, you know, Jeff working with someone with the immense talent that Cesaro has, as well as the talent that Jeff has himself, that can only elevate both wrestlers.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I mean, this is the thing; it just doesn't make sense sometimes. And just WWE have more time, and they have, you know, the amount of hours they have a program in a week to make a match for a couple of weeks. You know, I don't want to talk about AEW too much, but they had 2 weeks to build an event and have already done it. So why can't they have meaningful? You know, are there not enough meaningful matches at the moment to have on WWE pay-per-views? Is that the problem? Maybe, you know, when you talk about kind of feuds and all that lot, it just seems to be kind of put together. I mean, Sami Zayn was off TV, and Cesaro and Nakamura just joined up with Corbin. So it's kind of like, what are they doing? You know, it's just, at this moment in time, difficult times. Don't get me wrong.
Do you think with this coronavirus pandemic, it's kind of thrown a huge spanner into the works that is WWE? And they've kind of had, obviously, you know, WWE plan things out a long time in advance, whereas AEW, they haven't had that, like, you know, year to plan things out. So they're kind of going on a whim, so to speak, hence why theirs is kind of flowing slightly better than what the WWE product is. And
I think with WWE, I think they have so much time, and I don't think they use it. You know, I think that is the problem as well, as we can see. It's not kind of thrown together, but you're kind of, you know, especially this card, you've got a couple of matches that kind of, all right, that makes sense, and then the rest is kind of put there. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I said, this is enjoyable, and I love seeing the abdominal stretch applied in wrestling as well.
Made famous by
Wilbur Schneider. I can't remember what decade it was, though.
30s.
Oh, it was 30s, yeah. As Cesaro's punished the midsection in this match, and has looked good doing it, there's no doubt about it.
So do these 2 guys deserve to be on Kickoff Show?
I think,
or is this kind of like the perfect match for the perfect place on the card?
I think with the card, I think it could be on there. I think it's quite a good kickoff match as well. But again, just putting 2 guys together doesn't add that much excitement to it. It's not like wins and losses, really. These 2 guys going towards at this moment in time. Is it the mid-card titles, or is it the heavyweight championship? You know, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Like,
you don't know what their motivation is.
And you get a victory, and it's kind of like, right.
Well, don't get me wrong, but I believe both of these guys should be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. You know, Jeff Hardy, he could be like at the top of the ladder, staring up at the briefcase, someone's laying, you know, just on a table that is generated out of nowhere. Only one thing happens, we both know that. But, you know, he's like, oh, title shot. And then you see a kind of cleansing moment, and bang, he's got the briefcase. He's not doing a senton bomb through the table, what everyone would think he'd be doing.
That's clever. Or see Cesaro actually winning it, and, you know, building from there. I think there's definitely a shout for both of these 2. I think with Jeff, maybe the story in this one is kind of like the returning guy. He's a veteran now, which is crazy to think, you know, Jeff Hardy's a veteran. And coming back to try and prove himself against the guys who are, you know, say what you will about Cesaro, he's been wrestling consistently now in WWE for the past 5 years. The house shows, Raws or Smackdowns or main events, or do you know what I mean? He's always got WWE obviously see him as a safe pair of hands because he's always got a match here or there. You know, he's always kind of performing.
So do you think, again, it's not going to be long before Cesaro does get the shot that he truly deserves?
Let's hope, you know, that's what I'm saying. With these two guys, Cesaro, let's hope there's a chance. Let's hope they haven't given up. Let's not forget Cesaro's had a lot of different, you know, people. We talk about being a Paul Heyman guy or with the Real Americans. You know, it's kind of like there's a lot of stuff he's had. You know, even with the bar now and Nakamura, and it's got to fix on one thing and just kind of find a character. Whereas with Jeff Hardy, we know what Jeff Hardy's kind of about because we've seen the character develop for so long. As Jeff now making his comeback, looking to put Cesaro away. And this has been a nice long match as well.
Yeah, well, twist of fate pushed away from Cesaro, but Cesaro walks into a back elbow.
Well, Jeff went up for Whisper Wind and got caught in that top turnbuckle.
I think Cesaro's had an answer for pretty much everything Jeff Hardy's thrown at him.
Cesaro just so strong as well.
Looking for a gut wrench off the top. Hardy's holding on for dear life. Just a elbow Cesaro off. Whisper in the wind lands, well, crumples Cesaro up into a cover. Cesaro managing to kick out.
Oh. And that was close then by Jeff.
One thing I've ever seen Jeff Hardy is a submission.
Yeah, he don't use that many submissions, does he? But isn't it incredible to think that he still can put his body on the line? When I know Edge has come back now, but when you look at all the other guys who are in TLC have retired, you know, it's kind of this crazy thing. He was the one that's taken the most bumps at the time as well.
Absolutely, yeah. He has taken some ridiculous bumps and some high risk.
Cesaro there. Beautiful agility. And Jeff wisely rolling to the apron. Jeff against the barricade. Here comes Cesaro.
Huge running uppercut as Jeff was prone on barricade.
But Cesaro banged the knee there.
Irish whip reverse. Cesaro knees first into the steel stairs.
My God, he bounced over there. Well, he might have hurt the knee earlier, but Jeff taking a risk.
Off the barricade, takes down Cesaro. He's back in the ring.
Well, a hint of the old Jeff Hardy there. And he's into the top.
Swanton bomb into the cover. 1, 2, 3.
Job done then. Cesaro loses Jeff Hardy and gets the victory. I mean, as the match itself, I thought that was actually quite enjoyable. You know, I mean, for a kickoff match, it was given a lot more time than I thought. You know, must be about 15 minutes or something like that.
At least 20 minutes.
And, I thought the chemistry between the two, like I said, Cesaro is a great in-ring performer, but I think Jeff there kind of showed what he's still got left in the tank. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that. I think Cesaro carried the majority of this match, and Jeff Hardy kind of added his unique touch to it, and the two gelled absolutely perfect. I'd love to see another match between these two guys.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, and that means predictions start off. I go 1-0 up, but like I said, there's still a lot of time to go as we move on to the Bank main show.
Well, it's the main show.
So we see the opening show promo as well. I mean, Dan, are you happy at the fact that this is going to be different, being held in the headquarters as opposed to a normal ladder match?
Climbing the corporate ladder.
Yeah.
Again, you know, I'm interested to see kind of how this all plays out. You know, again, it's something different, and, you know, kudos to WWE for kind of making it different, you know, making it something else.
Yeah, I think without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to be very interesting what happens here at Money in the Bank. What match are you looking forward to the most here tonight?
I think the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I think there's a lot of huge stars in there with the intent to make it an absolutely brilliant match.
Yeah, I think without doubt. I mean, I'm looking forward to Rollins and McIntyre as well. I could be a really good match between the two. We've seen chemistry for them before, but we're going to start off with a SmackDown Tag Team title match, and this will be a very interesting one as the New Day come out. And you got to love Big E and Kofi, even say, people at home, and still getting into it. Look at him, look at what he's doing. Big E starfishing in the middle of the ring.
He is indeed, yes. And as you were saying about Kofi, like the last time he was wearing his trunks, the more coloured in it gets. I think it is closing in on the return of Xavier Woods.
Yeah, so I think New Day have done well, though, to since the absence of Xavier Woods to still continue going, if you know what I mean. It's I think they've done quite a good job. But then again, with talent like Kofi and Big E, you can't really argue. Do you think Big E deserves his chance in his own right? I know we're tag team titles tonight, but
yeah, Big E does deserve a shot at the big time. But you know, he's kind of been the security figure for a while. You know, he was security while Dolph Ziggler was champion. He's kind of been a secondary or tertiary member of New Day behind Kingston. Yeah. So, yeah, hopefully, he gets a chance.
I think he can work as a face because he's so good. And I think, like you said, that kind of killer heel that we've seen for him before, I think could work in his own right. And the next team is the Lucha Dragons, called Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado. Now, it's great that they're on the show, isn't it? They had a surprise victory against Miz and Morrison to get into this matchup. But they are two really talented guys, aren't they? Not just because his name's so awesome to say either.
No, again, immense talent from both members of the Lucha House Party. And again, I don't think they're ever going to progress much more further than a tag team title.
Yeah, but hopefully they actually get a run, because I think they have been very entertaining on Raw and SmackDown. And our third team, the Miz and Morrison, of course, former tag team champions, losing it in a triple threat match, actually. But they come out here. What do you think of Miz and Morrison? I mean, they're a good tag team, but do they deserve more? Does Morrison deserve more?
I think Morrison deserves more, He was booked strong in Impact. He was an absolute killer of a champion. Comes to WWE and he's got to team up with The Miz, for fuck's sake. Poor bastard. Poor bastard.
Oh, no, I don't mind The Miz. And the full team, I can't remember. I've forgotten.
I've forgotten who they are too, son.
So the Forgotten Sons. Oh, look at Becky straddling that second rope. And we get Jackson Riker, Steve Cutler, Wesley Blake. And they're probably getting treated better in WWE than they did in the entire NXT run, which is great to see.
It is good to see, yeah. Will we see kind of a reunion of some sorts by Blake and Murphy?
Wow, that's definitely a possibility now. He's on the main roster, but the Forgotten Sons have been treated quite strongly. They might have the numbers advantage here now as well.
I suppose if I was the other teams, I'd say, look, one of you get Jackson, one of you get Riker, one of you get Blake, take them all down, like 2-on-1 assault, and then it's just a triple threat.
Oh yeah, the thing about that, and Miz looking happy. I'm going to say something now. I mean, Kofi's in there, but I think Miz has got the biggest star power in this match. He's going to start an argument.
Yeah, I think he's kind of the highest, he's kind of like highest on the achievements there, I suppose, but the most depressing thing in this match is only two of them have been world champions. And one of them's a fucking Miz.
Yeah. Prediction-wise, I've gone for the New Day in this one, Dan.
I too have gone for the Day of New.
Yeah, I think it's just, at this moment in time, you know what my thoughts on multi-man matches are. That's why I've not picked a winner for Money in the Bank. So, I think New Day run continues. It'll be interesting to see where they go. I'm not sick of the New Day yet. We have talked about this. I mean, ever since we've started the podcast, really, we've talked about the New Day and their run. It's been a great run. They're one of the most successful factions in WWE.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've kind of always been a constant in the WWE, which is something that you don't get nowadays. They kind of break up, they kind of have their moments, their falling outs, and then, maybe eventually get back together like Morrison and Miz. But, even when Kofi won the World Championship, he was kind of hoisted high by his teammates and not dropped in an electric chair like Randy Orton was.
Yeah, and we start off with Grand Metalik and Kofi Kingston. And you're called Grand Metalik was your pick in the CWC. Probably the most successful guy, one of the most successful ones at the CWC that we watched at the time.
Well, yeah, and again, in WWE, he's kind of had one of the better runs as, over the other members of the CWC. I mean, they have been featured slightly. We're going to see, we're not going to tonight, but, he's still kind of featured quite a bit. But, aside from him, there's not really been much featurage.
No, exactly. But there we go. The action now gets a little bit more aggressive as Blake's in there.
And he takes out kind of all the other teams on the outside apart from Miz and Morrison.
What are your thoughts on the strength of the SmackDown tag team division at this moment in time? Do you think it could do a little bit improved? I don't think it's too bad.
No, I don't think it's bad at all. Morrison and Miz, they've got a lot of star power, especially what Morrison's achieved outside of WWE. You've got the New Day, who are kind of like a constant. the Lucha House Party, which kind of bring a high-flying element, and the Forgotten Sons, which are the kind of the unknown entity in this. You know, they're the kind of the least known to, you know, strict WWE fans. But
the NXT call-up, which works as well. So then the development continues, you know. As Metallic now's taking it, Morrison at this moment in time, who got him tagged from Blake. And now Morrison's going up with Metallic. He's got an idea, maybe Spanish Fly.
Nope. That's kind of like a reverse Spanish Fly to the outside, taking out every other single team member going.
Oh my God. Well, Jackson Riker's the only guy left standing. He's not in this match. And that's what Metallic can do, is he throws Morrison in.
Or was it Metallic doing the Spanish Fly Morrison? I don't know.
And as Michael Cole tells us, this is a non-elimination match as well. As Metallic, again, showing off what he can do, landing that second rope.
I think Morrison could have a very good match. You know, both of them gifted in the high-flying abilities, but in their own completely different way.
And now here comes Steve Cutler. And like I said, the unknown entity coming in, maybe bring that little X factor that can get actually a victory here tonight as well and kind of shock the world. And Metallic's been in there since the very beginning.
Wesley Blake gets the tag in from Cutler. A very unique tag team move there, like a hip toss into a prone Metallic who was draped over the ropes.
And the Forgotten Sons just slowing this one down now, making it into a kind of... we're talking trash to Big E.
Oh, hell no.
So only 2 world champions. Do you see anybody else in this match becoming world champion?
The only 2 that I could ever see holding... No, actually, I'd say 2 with a close third. And that would be Big E and John Morrison. Jackson Riker.
Ooh.
Because, you know, he has been booked relatively strong in WWE. And they're kind of, you know, they don't introduce him much into matches. You know, he kind of has his outside interference, but I reckon Jackson Riker has a potential ability. I don't know, he's slightly too old.
Well, he, you know, like I said, he had his run as Gunner in TNA. But like I said, Batista was old when he became a world champion as well, in that way, when you think about it. So there's always a chance. Like I said, he has been protected. What about The Miz? I think The Miz might be able to... have another title run?
I can't see it, personally.
Oh, The Miz is in now because Metallic got the tag to his partner.
Lince
Dorado. And now he's in. And now The Miz gets the tag. See, Miz and Morrison wearing the same, you know, colour outfits, digging it as a tag team. And now they're going to put Kofi away.
Well, 2007, these guys was tag team champions.
Isn't it crazy how history repeats itself as Kofi... trying to put Miz away. I mean, just think how many times Kofi and The Miz have faced off in action.
Oh, multiple times, yeah.
Thousands.
Boom drop on The Miz.
Now Kofi calling for it. Looking to put Miz away.
Trouble in No, gets caught by The Miz. Looking for the figure 4. Taught to him by none other than Rick Flair.
And Cutler, though, gets a tag after Kofi was pushed off. And Big E got the tag on Kofi.
And he's getting stomped away in the corner.
We don't see Big E dominate that often, but Cutler definitely bringing a fight.
Kofi gets a tag. Step up in Seguri.
Oh.
Big E open. Looking for a power bomb and double foot stomp combo.
Wow.
1, 2, no. Cutler manages.
Oh.
That's surprising.
Well, yeah, fair play to Cutler. What a great double team move that was by Big E and Kofi. So many years together, just come out with new ways for the new day to win, and now this could be the end.
John Morrison pushing Kingston off the top rope.
It looks like Blake got the blind tag, but so did The Miz. Forgotten Sons put Big E down, capitalised.
Skull crushing finale on Blake, looking to end it on Big E. Starship Pain.
Oh, hits it on Big E. 1,
2, no, Lucha House Party in to break it up.
Well, The Miz then thought he had it, throws Metallic on the outside, but lands on the apron.
Dorado in with a super kick.
Dorado looked to fly, but Morrison put it to stop.
Irish whip, springboard, stunner.
Morrison down.
Metallic, springboard, Hurricane Rana.
Some beautiful moves in this match as Big E and Metallic in. Uh-oh. Dorado is a legal guy as Big E tries to swat him.
Step up in Seguri. And dual step up in Seguris from both members of LHP.
They might actually win the tag titles here.
Frog splash. Metallic walking the ropes. Huge elbow drop. 1, 2, and Sons in to save the day.
My God, so Miz and Morrison and the Lucha House Party come so close to winning. And now Forgotten Sons trying to get...
Well, Big E's been hit with everyone's finishers.
And Big E's still managing. Well, I say managing. He's managed to get picked up.
Against the rope, catches himself. Sends both members of the Forgotten Sons to the outside.
Now Kofi running towards Big E.
Assisted flying.
Well, he took out Blake, but Cutler.
Who takes out Kingston and gets taken out by Big E.
Uh-oh, now we're going to see a Big E spear.
No, Riker low bridges Big E.
Oh, the referee might have saw this. What's going to happen?
You're out of here.
Well, Riker can't believe it. And Blake and Cutler have just lost their advantage. But here come Lucha House Party.
Springboards over the top. Take out Forgotten Sons and Morrison and Miz. Well, the New Day kind of crawl away to safety. Big E climbs back into the ring. I believe he's a legal man.
I have no idea at this moment in time who's going to win this as Metallic slowly gets up on the apron.
Springboards in. It's caught by Big E who rolls through.
Wow. Look at the power of Big E.
Trouble in Paradise to Dorado. Big ending to Metallic. 1, 2, 3.
Wow. And Big E, Kofi Kingston and New Day retain their tag team titles. Dan, what do you think of that match?
It was an entertaining match. I think it was kind of written on the cards that New Day was going to win this match. Sons and Miz and Morrison both protected. Lucha House Party kind of the full guys for this match, but it's good to see, the New Day kind of doing a bit of dominance.
I think that's good. I think all four teams kind of shone in this one. Forgotten Sons, like I said, were protected with Jackson Riker and such. Miz and Morrison came ever so close, the same with Lucha House Party. They can deliver multi-man matches in WWE, and they are. And that's in part to the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Kofi Kingston and Big E. After that, prediction-wise, both a point. So it's 2-1 now as we head into our third match. And here we go, R-Truth's coming out. So our next match is MVP versus R-Truth. I'm surprised this wasn't the kickoff match, but R-Truth out. And you're a fan of R-Truth, aren't you, Dan?
Stand up and say what's up.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
What's up? No, but seriously, though, he's a great talent, though. He makes you laugh.
Yeah, hugely entertaining character as well, and, you wouldn't believe he's in his 70s.
No.
It looks like he's in his 30s.
At least 80s. This age.
R-Truth, is he someone that you think should have had a heavyweight title run?
I've been watching a bit of old Impact Plus with the when he was TNA. Actually, he was NWA heavyweight champion in TNA. And I tell you what, the promos and his look at the time, there was something definitely about him. The problem is for him, he could do comedy, and I think that's what WWE saw and thought, well, there we go, rather than being serious, Do
you think that's what he's kind of permanently been placed with? Someone like, Goldust, who, you kind of see him as a comedy character, someone that you could never take seriously. Yeah,
I think without doubt. I think we saw that. He had a run with John Cena, didn't he, when he went serious with The Miz as well. But then after that, he had like Little Jimmy and stuff, and that kind of just...
My bad.
Yeah, but it's kept him in the job, for like 10, 15 years, so that's fair play. And MVP coming back. I mean, I was a fan of MVP back in the day, but I feel like... I don't know if they dropped the ball, but there's a lot of wrestlers like that back. Mr. Kennedy's one of them as well. Carlito maybe could have gone somewhere, never really did,
I wasn't a huge fan of MVP.
No?
I don't know. No, I didn't know what it was. I just don't think he kind of hit that with me.
Well, prediction-wise, this one, who have you gone for?
I have gone for R-Truth.
Yeah, and I too have gone R-Truth in this one. MVP's be trying to make maybe a little stable of superstars recently.
Well, he's kind of dressed like the Black Panther.
We're arguing about balls. Did they really need this on the main show with R-Truth and MVP at this moment? Well, you're smiling.
I just think R-Truth, he brings a comedy element. He's going against MVP, and he's trying to show MVP how to do his entrance kind of shtick. How can you not find that entertaining?
Yeah, I will agree with you. Oh, wait a minute. What's this?
Well, the Almighty is making his way to the ring.
Bobby Lashley, and he has a lot. Again, someone from 2007 era who kind of never really had that shot. You could argue he deserves it.
Okay, so out of these three guys,
Lashley.
You could only make one.
Lashley, yeah.
I'd say Lashley. I'd love to see R-Truth as heavyweight champion, though.
If Lashley could talk like MVP, he would be a multiple-time world champion, there's no doubt.
But, I'd like to see accidentally win the title.
Yeah, that would be funny, actually. What, like on a Santino monitor Rumble or something like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But, like, you know, actually, you know, when he could have got rid of Del Rio, like, actually do it.
Yeah, actually get the victory. So MVP has walked out. Looks like it's going to be Lashley and R-Truth. New predictions, Dan? Lashley. I think that would be fair to say, as Truth now running from Lashley.
Has R-Truth got headphones?
Yeah. I don't know. Either way, he tried to fool Lashley, saying, look that way. And Bobby didn't fall for it.
Do you think R-Truth has kind of... He's gone so far in his comedic character that he can't actually ever redeem himself, and that is what he's going to be?
I think possibly so.
Obviously, unless he joins a different... Which, again, I think he's kind of got tenure in WWE, so it's kind of like, look, you know, I could stay here getting a constant paycheck, or I could go to AEW and kind of be teaming up with Sean Spears.
Exactly. I mean, Truth's got a place at the money. You know, he's on pay-per-view at this moment in time, so like I said, it's still exposure. I mean, maybe he could down the road, maybe a bit more serious, but I think at this moment in time, you know, with Lashley as well, I don't mind an aggressive Lashley if it means going through someone like R-Truth. R-Truth is not someone that gets hurt by losses, and he's over in that way. The fact is he doesn't have to win, and that sometimes is a problem with wrestlers. Maybe a bit like Cesaro as well, really. But Lashley's got Truth up, but Truth blocking it.
But does Lashley need to kind of dominate Truth? Because he hits him with the spear after Truth got a little bit of respite. And R-Truth has been downed relatively easy. Lashley hasn't even broken a sweat.
So that's what we needed Lashley to look like. Have we got a monster run? Lashley McIntyre, would that be interesting down the road? I mean, I don't know. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Are we get Lashley and Lesnar? People have been talking about that for years, you know, but I'm not sure. I don't mind the match for what it did. What are your thoughts on the match and Bobby Lashley?
I would like to have seen R-Truth get a victory over MVP, personally. But Lashley, is this the kind of redemption matches that he needs? You know, he needs to kind of build himself back up. I think Lashley was kind of built better when he was kind of like the silent assassin babyface, as opposed to being kind of like, you know, the almighty dominate this kind of...
Yeah, no, I'll have to agree with that. We'll see what happens with Bobby Lashley. As we move forward, that means predictions. It is another point each, so it's 3-2 as we head into our next match. So our next match is for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and it's Bayley versus Tamina. But interesting, leading up to this, they just asked Bayley backstage, you know, well, Sasha Banks, are you going to give her an opportunity? And Bayley said, it's about me. I'm the most dominant champion. It would be fair to say at WrestleMania, Bayley wouldn't have still been Women's Champion if it wasn't for Banks helping out against Lacey Evans, you know. And also, Tamina became number one contender by beating Sasha Banks on SmackDown. So Banks has got a lot to say about if Bayley is still champion or not. Does she deserve a shot?
I think Banks does deserve a shot, but like anyone else, she has to earn it.
Yeah. Well, will Bayley give it to her? That's the question. Tamina earned her shot by beating Banks. Can she beat Bayley? She's been dominant recently. Tamina has only had one, I think, Diva title shot, and that's probably about 3 years ago. Is she someone who maybe could be a little bit, you know, better used, or are you a fan of Bayley and Banks and that storyline at the moment?
I'm kind of waiting for the inevitable kind of turn where Banks has had enough and she wants to kind of have a shot at the title, and she makes her own shot. With this, I think Tamina's just cannon fodder. You know, it's someone big and dominating that Bayley can beat and kind of get a bit of rep over. Yeah,
I think without a doubt, I think Tamina, you know, they're trying to make her the dominant one, and I think there's potential there, but maybe, you know, by this time she's there as just a kind of challenger. Bayley's been as champion for over 200 days now, so she's had a great run. What are your thoughts on heel Bayley compared to face Bayley? You know, as we've seen her now.
I preferred face Bayley.
What reason is behind that? Is it just because more fun, or?
Yeah, you know, she's more interactive. I think everyone kind of goes for a dark side in their kind of wrestling character, but I think Bayley was better when she was a light-hearted hugger.
So if Banks and Bayley were to feud, which way would you want to see? Would you see Banks as a heel, Bayley back as a face, or?
Yeah, I'd like to see Bayley back as a face, but kind of not work as well for her, though. Because obviously, you know, since turning to a heel side, she has been more dominant.
But it's weird with their horsemen, you know, apart from the man, they all kind of had more success when they have, even Becky Lynch, to be fair, when they've got that kind of more of attitude, the kind of heelish thing. then they found more success. I think out of all them, maybe Sasha Banks is the one that hasn't had the most, and that'd be kind of weird to say that since being called up. But this will be an interesting one. Bayley, I don't mind the heel character because it is so different to kind of what she was before being the hugger. And it'll be interesting to see what they do down the road. But Tamina, at the moment in time, I think she's lucky just to have had this match at Money in the Bank. Prediction-wise, I have gone for Bayley. Dan?
I too have gone for Bayley.
And what are your reasons through that?
Well, as I mentioned previously, I think, they want Bayley to get a victory over someone big and dominating, and Tamina is a perfect person to be put in that position. Without
doubt. And Tamina now getting pushed, but not moving. Bayley with the right hands.
This is Jess Carr's first title match on the main roster.
Oh, is it? Oh, well done, Jess Carr. And Jack's just showing the power there, putting Bayley back in the corner.
Nobody puts Bayley in a corner. Hang on a minute.
Bayley Irish Whip jumps on the back of Jack on Tamina. Sorry, there is a similarity between the two. I don't want to be that guy, but, as Tamina sends Bayley back. I think Bayley needs to survive the early going here. Tamina's going to start strong. I think the longer the match goes, the more it's going to favour the women's champion. And of course, with Banks on the outside, there might be a time Sasha Banks says, "Do you know what? I'm actually not going to help you. Do it yourself."
Yeah, to see where you'd be without me. Yeah. Well, Tamina's perched Bayley on top of the turnbuckle. And Bayley seems to be backing off a bit. Intimidated by what Tamina can bring.
Well, yeah, and also using the... get a bit of distance in.
Socially.
Bit of intelligence there from Bayley. I don't think we've seen the best of Tamina in WWE, really.
This match is quite slow going. I know it's kind of playing into Tamina's. But Tamina, as far as I'm aware, is still a heel.
Yeah, there's no doubt there's two heels kind of going at it at this moment in time. But then again, I'd rather have this match than Lacey Evans. So, there's Bayley with a drop kick there.
Straight to that right knee, and that's been a focus of Bayley's attack thus far. So will this be a clean victory for Bayley, or will Sasha Banks have something to say about the outcome of this?
Well, it depends if they want to protect Tamina or not. Like I said, if she's there just kind of the next victim, then Bayley could conceivably get the job done. But is the story Banks getting involved as well? Is that part of it, that she kind of gets involved to help Bayley out? Maybe even Bayley doesn't need the help and he can do that afterwards. Just, well, why are you getting involved?
With Bayley saying, I'm the most dominating champion, I've knocked off this person, that person, the other person, and Banks chirps in and says, well, I've kind of helped you with this one, that one, the other one, and it goes on.
I think there's definitely, like I said, that storyline is there. Whether they've waited too long or not to do it is another thing entirely, but I think Sasha Banks definitely deserves another run as women's champion. I think it's been too long since then. It's good to see Bayley involved, and she's definitely taken Tamina down in this match, which is an impressive feat in itself. There's no doubt the new aggressive Bayley definitely targets and keeps the opponent down. Tamina using the headbutts and then just suffocating Bayley there with a splash.
Trying to shake that injury off of her right knee. She comes charging with a hip attack to the head of Bayley. Super kick, but Bayley caught the leg.
Well, that was brilliant by Bayley. She get the heel hook in. Tamina will be in serious trouble. Well, that's one thing to Tamina's advantage, I suppose, with her frames, managing to roll round, get close to the ropes.
Bayley going to use the whole of the 5 count before she lets go.
Well, Tamina pushing Bayley away, but still struggling with that leg. Bayley with a huge kick, but...
Yeah, looking for a Samoan drop, but I think the weight of Tamina kind of made her collapse. Banks is looking on, wondering what she can do to her.
Well, Bayley there maybe got a bit too confident for her own good. I think she turned into John Cena for a second. And Sasha Banks at ringside cheering her on. And Bayley goes to the outside.
Trying to call a timeout, but that doesn't happen in wrestling. Got Banks over in her ear. Briefly until the referee tells her to get back.
And Bayley again using all of that ring to their advantage. You see it with the ring post and the apron. Now the hardest part of the apron, just banging Tamina down. Banks watching on, and Bayley wants some water.
And then throws it in Tamina's face. That's got to burn.
I mean, what an insult that is, isn't it? Getting water thrown in your face.
But that's just pissed off Tamina.
That might have woken up the monster.
Well, thrown onto the apron, bounced off the ring ropes into a clothesline from Tamina.
Uh-oh, now this could be the worst mistake she made. Sent it to the barricades.
Headbutting a ladder.
Now Tamina sending Bayley in. And we might be moments away from a new SmackDown Women's Champion.
Samoan drop. No, Bailey manages to swim through the air to the top rope. Gets caught with a super kick to the face and drops her to the outside.
That was a bit of a shame for Tamina. If you landed that kick in the ring, that might be over. But she's still the dominant one. Is she going to try that move again? No.
She's going to throw Bailey straight over the announce table. Straight to the feet of Michael Cole and Corey Graves.
And she just bounced off the table into those chairs. And now Tamina sending Bailey into barricade. And Tamina now looks focused, probably more focused than I've seen her.
I think that water to the face was a wake-up call for her.
Well, maybe for her title ambitions, is she going to go up? Just like her dad. She's going to try and kill a woman. Try and splash off the top. Oh.
No, Bailey had her feet up, but it was well scouted by Tamina, who hits a super kick. Bounces Bailey off the ropes into a Samoan drop. Banks crawls in.
And Tamina now staring at Banks. Well, Sasha's not been involved, so she's not disqualified.
But the distractions proved worthwhile, as Tamina's gone away from a pin attempt, now trying to crawl through the ring away.
Oh no, Tamina catches Banks, but here comes Bailey. Caught with another Samoan drop, managing to reverse it.
No, into a crucifix. 2, 3.
Yeah, Bailey gains.
Thanks to Sasha Banks.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it was effective. Wait a minute, Tamina's still up.
Chop block by Sasha, saving the day. And a knee to the face. Banks barely able to stand in them high heels, but...
My God, Banks looks like fire here tonight. It takes out Tamina.
Who's losing her eyelashes.
It hit her so hard, it knocked out for her. God. As Banks now with a women's championship.
Hands it to Bailey.
Yeah, gives it to her friend. You can't really argue with that. Dan, what are your thoughts on that match?
It's making Bailey look like a worthless champion, but I don't know if that's the kind of story they're bringing into things, you know, that Bailey can only win with the help of Sasha Banks, and Sasha Banks is saying, look, you know, you wouldn't have that title if it wasn't for me, them two women. If that's the payoff, then yeah, I think it could be entertaining, but unless that is the payoff, it is booking Bailey to look weak.
Yeah, well, I think Bailey retaining here, I think, like I said, the story is going to be Banks down the road, but for Tamina, I think this is one of her best performances, actually. She looked kind of, you know, like a monster throwing Bailey around at certain points and might have actually got the victory if it wasn't for Sasha Banks. So it played into that as well. Again, it's interesting, but I think, you know, it's a story that I'm still invested in at this moment in time, you know. So we'll see how it goes as we lead up to SummerSlam. And that means a point each again as well. So it's 4-3 as we head into our next match. We've got two big title matches before Money in the Bank. Well, Seth the Messiah. So up next it is a Universal title match, and it's Braun Strowman going against Bray Wyatt. And this has been a great story leading up to this because it's about history and actually going back. And of course, Braun was a part of the Wyatt family back in 2015. He was a black sheep of the family, and of course Wyatt was there at the time, kind of controlling him. And since then, of course, Braun has become Universal Champion at WrestleMania and had, you know, many successes, I suppose. And Bray has come back and said, look, now it's time for you to come home, and offer him the black sheep mask that he wore way back when. Remember that, Dan, when he was wearing the sheep mask and he said, if you come back home, everything will be fine. Braun saying, no, I am their new guy now. Does Braun need to come back home to Bray? It's a great story, isn't it? Because it's a bit of history.
Yeah, again, it goes round. This is when Braun had just finished up with his time in the as a Rosebud, and he joins the Wyatt family. You know, he was the big monster among men in the Wyatt family.
The black sheep, as it was.
Black sheep, yeah.
Yeah, great times. And like I said, it's a really good story leading up to this as well. I'm interested in seeing where it goes because, like I said, the question is, will Braun come back home or will he be his own man here? And we're seeing Bray Wyatt coming out and not The Fiend, which will be interesting.
Yes. That maybe would have changed my prediction slightly if it was Bray going against him and not The Fiend, because The Fiend, we've seen him as unstoppable. Well, pretty much unstoppable.
Apart from Goldberg, and Braun's beating Goldberg, Braun can beat Bray then in that way. Who have you gone for predictions?
I have gone for for Bray Wyatt because I thought he was going against The Fiend.
Well, I've gone for Braun Strowman because, like I said, against The Fiend is a completely different story.
Yeah, do you reckon Eric Rowan's going like, what the fuck, man?
Well,
I mean, like, Braun and Bray are in a title match. Luke Harper or Brody Lee, or Mr. Brody Lee, the Exalted One, is in a title match, and Eric Rowan's like, fuck, is it because I'm ginger?
Well, I think that might be a part of, but I think it's good that they can go back and actually tell a story from it. And I think we're seeing in this one that these two guys, the feud is going to continue. This is not just a kind of one-off match here. This is going to be for a couple of events. And we've seen it before, you know, if Braun can beat Bray, then maybe The Fiend comes out. And then we ask the question, can The Fiend defeat Braun? I mean, Braun Strowman is universal. I mean, what have you thought of his run so far?
Haven't really had much of it, to be fair. You know, he's had just a couple of dominating performances in matches, non-title, but aside from winning the title, it's not been...
Well, people, you know, were saying, well, Braun's only won it because of Roman Reigns not winning it, and I think that's fair. And is it a case of him dropping it to Bray straight away to him a title run? Does he deserve to have a run with the championship, or is he not at that level? That's the question.
I think he's at that level. I think he's certainly someone that can stand up. But again, you know, you can be seeing why people are thinking, yep, it's only been put on him because Roman Reigns isn't about at the moment.
Well, Braun just pushing Bray away, and Bray saying, oh, you're quite strong. A huge shot to the midsection. Block as well by Braun. And Bray just laughing. Now, I think during these times, especially with no audience, especially when you can hear it, a character like Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, is going to work even better. We saw it at WrestleMania in the Firefly Funhouse. We've seen it on SmackDown in interactions. You can hear what he's doing. This is what the character's about.
Absolutely, yeah.
This works better because it is just so kind of wacky and out there, if you know what I mean. I think if it was just Bray just wrestling as a normal guy, as opposed to the kind of host of the Firefly Funhouse, it might be a bit different.
Yeah.
It's just because they're two completely different... He could even create a third of being like the kind of... the Bray Wyatt that we used to know as well in a weird way, you know. So yeah. I think there's definitely depth for Bray to go back and, you know, alter egos. It worked for Bowley, so why wouldn't it work for someone like Bray Wyatt, you know?
Indeed. And do you think it should have been Bray Wyatt losing to Goldberg as opposed to The Fiend as well?
I think that possibly. But I think then again, WWE had plans, didn't they? They said Roman Reigns is going to beat Goldberg. That's what we want. And then when it changed, it blew up in their faces. They're going to have to deal with it. And like you said, there's it's going to be interesting who comes at the end of this feud, and not just this match. And Braun now using his power.
Oh no! Bray sidesteps him, sends him into the announce table, hits the legs of Michael Cole, who's cowering against Barricade.
Well, Bray said he created Braun, so he knows all about him, and he definitely saw it there. And Braun, with that shot, we see it in replay, knocked out all the monitors. Bray just taunting Braun at the moment. Huskus is there. He's cheering Bray on. It's great that he's got fans.
And Bray with a DDT to Strowman on the floor.
Well, those wafer thin mats. How thin are those mats, though?
Well, they're just mere millimetres thick, and at the Performance Centre, it is actually harder concrete underneath them. And
now Bray has kind of turned this up a level. Hits Braun with a huge clothesline. Going for the cover, but Braun powers out at two.
Two sent on from Bray.
That's what makes the Fiend so indestructible, because, you know, Bray, when he's angry, is a mean force of nature, and then you just got that next level. Braun needs to show that he can be as aggressive as Bray in this one.
Do you think that's kind of something that's taken away from Braun, or do you believe that he's someone that's still got it?
I think Braun needs a lot of work. You know, I think that where he was a couple of years ago when he was tipping over trucks and stuff was a perfect time to go with him, and then they waited for so long, you lose momentum a little bit, and you just need to kind of build that back up again. Not doing the same things, but like this feud is good because it gets to show Braun it has changed since he came into WWE. He's not just the same guy he was, you know. As Bray sends Braun into the stairs and back in the ring.
I think Strowman's the right person to be a face as well. I think he works better as a heel.
I think as dominant heel, I think it would be good, but they're going to try and see if they can have him as a face one, see how much money he makes, and then he can just go back to being a kind of challenger afterwards. As Bray now looking to put Braun away, and you might be right about having a new champion, Dan.
Hopefully I am, I need the point.
Oh.
Huge DDT from the second from Bray. Sister Abigail.
Oh my God, today's DDT and a pin.
No, Strowman managing to kick out.
And Bray can't believe that. Braun, so strong there. But then again, how many spears and jackhammer... Oh, how many spears did he take at WrestleMania?
A multitude of spears. But do you think this is something that, especially for Bray, that they could kind of him go under the ring, cut it and shut it a bit, come out as the Fiend, hit Sister Abigail, bang, victory, done.
I think definitely. I think you can see that, or even the lights go out, come back on, and he's the Fiend. You know, like definitely, especially in these times. But he's looking to put Braun away again. Oh no!
Second Sister Abigail, kiss that man's head, plant him. No, Strowman fights back, choke slam.
And now Braun, can he get a little bit of momentum? Now Braun comes running into the corner, taking out Bray, and he does it again. Sends him to the outside. You know what Braun's got in mind now?
And he's going to build up a bit of momentum for the Strowman Express. Running round and just charges Bray into barricade.
And Bray's sickening impact there, back of his head, bouncing it off.
Strowman throwing Bray back into the ring. Bray with a kick to the head though, sends him back down to the mats.
Braun couldn't get in and capitalise on it. It's not been a bad match so far from these two.
It hasn't, but again, another slow match following a slow match. I don't know, it just takes something away from the momentum.
Well, there's definitely a story being told. Bray.
Oh, well, the story's just picked up. Strowman has appeared wearing the black sheep mask. Is Bray elated to see that?
Has he come back home? And Bray said, I told him I'd give him a chance. It looks like Braun's come back home. Well, he's promising this time everything will be perfect.
Strowman drops to his knees.
Well, I never thought I'd see this. Universal Champion back in Bray's life, back in his times. Bray and Braun hug. I cannot believe.
Go on, Braun. Drop to the mat. Let Bray pin ya.
Oh, look, we're going to see all the Five Live Funhouse there. There's Matt Riddle. They're all chanting, saying it's great to see Braun part of the family.
No, Strowman's just pushed Bray away, removing the mask. Bray's dumbstruck. He doesn't know what's going on.
Was he part of family? Was he not? Braun just stomps on the mask, destroying it. Picks Bray up. And he's got him. He's got him with a power slam. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Braun Strowman beats Bray Wyatt. My God, Dan, what do you think of that match?
Yeah, it was telling a good story that, we could have thought that Braun would be coming home to Bray Wyatt. That would have been an interesting story in itself, to be fair. But Strowman saying, look, I've not got you in my head anymore. You're out of it. I sucked you into your own games, and I've got you.
Yeah, I mean, not many people beat Bray Wyatt when it comes to... And Braun Strowman brought his strong game here tonight to walk out as Universal Champion. But now, as you heard what Bray was saying, he let me give me a chance. Now, Bray has, come up short. Will the Fiend come out and try and get back what he thinks is rightfully his? It's a storyline, again, that I'm invested in. I can't believe I'm actually going to say it. But it's very interesting. Braun Strowman. I don't think it was a bad match. But again, with Bray, it aired more like the theatrics and I think it paid off in its own right. Alright, so that means we can both get another... No, it doesn't. I get the point, sorry, Dan. And it goes to 5-3. And I'm not going to say it. It's early goings. Well, it's not early goings, really. There's only 2 matches left. I'm on for a perfect score. I'm on for a perfect score. 3 matches left. As we see. Oh, look. The Hacker. Who do you think the Hacker is, Dan?
Haku.
I think it's you. Looks like you.
I think it's Ali in it by the shape of the...
I don't know. Is it Ali? Is it Chad Gable?
Is it CM Punk?
Oh, my God. If it was CM Punk. Well, no one is safe for the Hacker, but no one is safe up next. Because it is the WWE title on the line. And it's our man, Drew McIntyre, defending against Seth Rollins.
Messiah.
So we've seen this. Seth Rollins come up short at WrestleMania, but since then has he's taken his Messiah act to the next level, and he's saying that he wants to beat McIntyre and become champion again. As for Drew, not only beating Brock Lesnar at Mania, but minutes later beating the Big Show. He's stepped up to every single challenge, and he's not afraid of Seth Rollins. But Seth Rollins poses a massive threat to Drew McIntyre. Dan, what are your thoughts on all this? Look, do you think Seth Rollins is even the right opponent?
I think Seth's had far too many chances, if I'm being totally honest. I think Seth's always been in and about the title picture, no matter what the character he's portraying, whether it's a Monday Night Messiah, whether it's part of, Steph and Triple H's crew, whether it's part of the Shield, whatever he does, he's had too many opportunities.
Well, Drew McIntyre has only had the one WWE title shot one-on-one, and he won the championship. So, I mean, McIntyre is champion. I think, like we talked about with Strowman, we weren't sure. With McIntyre, let's hope for a nice long championship reign. And Seth Rollins coming out here to new music.
It's a bit like Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania.
Well, he is the new Messiah.
Again, I'm not really behind this gimmick and moniker.
What don't you like about it?
I just don't. It doesn't. I don't know. Just nah.
You don't think Seth Rollins is that good?
It's not the fact of that. It's just the Monday Night Messiah. It's just not a gimmick I can get behind. I'm not invested in it.
Is it too close to Jesus?
It's too out there.
Well, he says he's the Messiah of Monday nights. I mean, he has been a focal point of WWE television, like we talk about, for the past 5 years, ever since we've started watching this. Apart from his injury layoff, he's always been featured. And, this time last year, he was a guy who beat Lesnar, and Sensors had to do this. Do you think McIntyre will find himself having to go heel and changing himself up a bit like Rollins did? Or do you think McIntyre has got more support? I don't know. Rollins has got a lot of support, but there's a lot of people who are negative about him. Yeah,
with McIntyre, I think the support is more positive than negative.
But it started turning a little bit because of, the way he was beating Zelina Vega's stable on Raw. But I think the thing is, you need heels to lose to faces. I think that's the whole... With McIntyre, he needs as many as possible to kind of make him legitimate. And I think Seth Rollins to beat him on his first, pay-per-view title defence, I think was a really, really good thing. Prediction-wise in this one, I have gone for, of course, Drew McIntyre. Dan?
Well, James, to kind of get back into this, I have gone for Seth to lose. Drew McIntyre to get the victory.
So McIntyre come out, and doesn't the WWE Championship round his waist suit him? The Royal Rumble winner, the main event, and now against Seth Rollins, and a smile on his face. And even in these times, what I wouldn't mind, and I don't want to be too, controversial, whoever wins Money in the Bank, if they were to cash in on McIntyre, and then McIntyre beating them for the championship when there's fans again to give you the pop that we missed at Mania. I hope McIntyre is a multiple-time champion. That's why I'm hoping this reign works. I think it would be an interesting matchup. The title reigns have become a lot longer, haven't they? Like we said, Bayley, 200 days champion. Becky Lynch is over 300 days, 350 days champion, or a year even. Lesnar held a title for, a little while as well. They're not kind of... The US and Intercontinental maybe are. I think the world titles... Does a longer reign, though, make it more legitimate world title in a way? Or is it more... Would you rather see kind of people changing every couple of months? That's an interesting thing, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and I think, as you were saying, with the Attitude Era changing, and there was only one title then.
Yeah.
Now there's two. It's kind of changing less, but there's more of it. And it's kind of, I think, having the two titles has slightly watered it down a bit.
Yeah. I class the WWE Championship as more of a world title than Universal. And that's not just because Drew McIntyre is the champion. I think that's been my thoughts for a while now as well. But I think, a title run can do well. But I just hope, he is challenging again and does get an opportunity. Not many people, like The Miz, WWE champion, had that run, main event at the WrestleMania, and then has kind of never been considered since,
Well, I personally think the WWE and Universal Championships need to go back to a more classic look as opposed to two massive W's.
They do look so similar, don't they, really? You've got that there as McIntyre's got the... Right, okay, so McIntyre's got the strength advantage, there's no doubt about that. He's the speed would go to Rollins.
Yeah, the better technical wrestler, I'd say.
Yeah, the experience factor is a little bit different, isn't it? Because McIntyre has kind of been around the world, whereas Rollins has just kind of been WWE based. So you could argue about that. No Buddy Murphy at ringside to help Seth Rollins here as a power shoulder blocked out the ring. And McIntyre now.
Drew McIntyre allowing Seth to get back in the ring, giving him enough space. I don't know, with the experience-wise, I think Drew McIntyre's got more whole experience, but I think Seth's kind of got more big match experience.
I think that's true. We talk about McIntyre at this moment in time, it's still new to him, isn't it? Trying to defend the WWE Championship. Like I said, Rollins has been there and done that, and he's done it as a heel and a face, and not many guys has had that opportunity either, I think, to win the title as both. And I think kind of talent to it, and I'm just glad McIntyre won it as a face, because I feel, as a heel, maybe that's the way they were going to go. Look at Lashley and look at kind of Corbin. McIntyre just showing his class and coming through a little bit of that.
Well, McIntyre with a couple of huge shoulder block takedowns eliminates Rollins from the Royal Rumble.
Do you think people know how good? Do you think people realise how good McIntyre can be, what he can do in the ring? I don't think we've seen that enough. I think now he's got a chance in these matches to show off what he can do a little bit more.
Well, I think the problem with McIntyre is, and there's not many problems, but he's kind of, if he's going against a little guy like a Seth Rollins, he outpowers them. And if he's going against someone of a similar size, he has to outpower them because the person of the similar size hasn't got the technical ability to kind of go toe-to-toe with Drew.
Yeah.
So, he's kind of not really got much, who his size can he have a good technical match with?
Yeah, no, that's actually true. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think he does work well with smaller guys. I tell you what I did enjoy, even though he came from losing end, the matches with Roman Reigns as well. I thought they both brought something out of the other one, and let's hope Seth can do that here as well.
Well, I think McIntyre would have a very good fucking match with John Cena.
I would love to see that.
Because he hasn't kind of got the outpowerable ability, and John Cena, again, with the right opponent, he can have a great match. I think McIntyre against AJ Styles as well would be a very good match.
Yes, yeah, again, that would be a cracking match, actually. Well, let's hope McIntyre, can have a few great matches with a lot of people here. Like I said, on Raw, we're forgetting people like Kevin Owens as well, that can maybe, they talk about people that deserve another chance at a World Championship, and that'd be interesting if he can win it as a, good guy as well. But McIntyre, he does a lot of things right, and I think Rollins is one of these guys who actually wants to help Drew, and I think that's what's going to help McIntyre, where people actually want to make him look good as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
You can really see between the two already in the early going.
Will we see a Muddy Burphy running?
I think maybe. I think Rollins has been a lot recently, and it depends with McIntyre, can Rollins take him out? Just sent him in the ring post there, and he hit his knee as well.
Yeah, well, Seth's been working on the left knee. And he just, while McIntyre's worried about his left knee, he gets his shoulder thrown into the ring post. Seth to go flying. And of course, McIntyre would have normally caught someone off of that suicide dive. But bum shoulder and bum knee, there's not a lot he can do.
And there's no doubt Rollins is, a great worker. He's not as good as he thinks he is, but he can deliver great matches. I think the problem with Rollins, like I said, overexposure at this moment in time. He lost in a high-profile match at Mania, and comes out with a title match. That's what's going to turn people against him.
He's not as good as Will Ospreay.
No, he's not good as Will Ospreay, no.
I'm just trying to decide whether he's better than Kenny Omega.
Yeah, well, if Kenny Omega was in this match, this would be 5-star already. As McIntyre is getting his leg worked on. It's good strategy from Rollins. You work on the leg, you take away a lot of the power moves and, of course, the Claymore.
Absolutely, yeah.
And McIntyre now struggling to get that bottom rope.
Into an STF.
Well, we talked about John Cena and now Rollins using moves he's learnt off his opponents.
But McIntyre's certainly someone with the strength to be able to crawl to the bottom rope.
Well, he's trying to bridge up and get there.
Oh, Rollins sees him crawling, so he turns it into a crossface and kill his wife and kid.
Oh, God. And now McIntyre going, no! As he screams out, he's saying, no, I want James to get a perfect score, come on! He's turned French at the end a little bit, but...
Ah oui!
Ah oui! I'll make it to the robe. And now Rollins using that full count, which you love to see.
You have to do it when you're a heel.
Would you prefer Rollins as a face or a heel? I thought as a face he was a little bit meh, but I know you like Burn It Down, so...
I do like the Burn It Down, and he had the followers with the face side, but as a heel, I don't know, he brings something, but I think Seth Rollins has kind of switched back and forth so many times that he's kind of made it worthless.
Ooh.
If you're going to be a face, be a face. If you're going to be a heel, but don't kind of switch it up. In the 5 years, he's been a face, a heel, a face, a heel, a face, a heel, and a face, and now he's a heel.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Find something and stick to it.
But I think this is the thing of them wanting to use Rollins, so they'll just change him up to fit the situation.
Or to fit whoever's champion at that time.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like Big Show, isn't it? I mean, how many fucking times did he change?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, just stick him as a challenger. McIntyre got tapped in the eye, and now knee comes in from Rollins. But I love that about McIntyre. It didn't knock him off his feet. He
just drops him to one knee, staggering about.
I'm just loving the fact we're watching a Drew McIntyre WWE title defense on a pay-per-view on the WNR podcast. I mean, it's pretty good. And Rollins has bought it here.
Yeah, perched on the Barry knee to the side of the face of McIntyre, who's not quite sure where he is at the moment. Samoa Joe on commentary.
Well, Joe's been great on commentary recently on Raw. And now Rollins on the announce table.
And again with a third knee to the face, finally drops McIntyre to the mat.
And the referee is being very lenient here, not only with the count, but with what's been going on. And you might think Rollins might have an advantage in that way with the referees and the kind of his treatment, because he has been in so many title matches recently.
So many or too many?
I think too many. Rollins' character has been one of the most used characters. People can moan. I think that's why people turn against him. That's what annoys me, because they're saying that about McIntyre, but they've not overused him at all. You know what I'm saying? They've not put him in positions like they have with Rollins.
No, with McIntyre, it's been a slow build. You know, they kind of had him teaming with fucking hell. Belly to belly overhead suplex. McIntyre caught Seth as he was kind of charging out the ring, sent him over his shoulder onto the announce table, and it didn't go through. It just bounced off it.
Or suicide dive into a suicide throw left from McIntyre.
Yeah.
That's a huge impact.
But no, you know, with McIntyre, they've kind of given him a slow build, a slow burn, tag team titles, kept him protected, but only, you know, just a little bit, kept him ticking over, barely losing matches. And then, like, you know, his big moment comes, Royal Rumble, gets the victory, kind of, you know, the stare with Brock Lesnar, you know exactly what's going to go down from McIntyre winning it, wins the title, and, you know, it's kind of his first proper defence on a pay-per-view.
It's been a great storyteller. It's been a great year for McIntyre. It's a shame. Look at this now, powering up, back in the ring.
Belly to belly overhead throws, and just a simple big boot to the face. McIntyre still trying to get some life back in that leg. Now Drew going up top. We rarely see him do this.
There he comes.
Wanted to get a bit of leviance onto that. Nips up to his feet.
I mean, McIntyre is a cool wrestler. There's no doubt. It's just, even in the moveset, like you said, just skipping up there, looking for the Claymore.
But Seth just drops and rolls out the ring. Hangs McIntyre up on the top rope. Catching with a step up enziguri.
And now Rollins going to try maybe springboard in.
Drew ducks it. Huge spine buster. McIntyre with a roll up, but Seth managing to kick out.
Well, there's no doubt McIntyre's in great conditioning, but I think the longer this match goes, the more it might favour Rollins, especially with the leg injury. I think McIntyre might realise that now.
I don't know. I think McIntyre's got what it takes to keep going on.
And he wants Seth to fight him, and now he's got in position. Going to go for the future shock, but Rollins targeting the leg.
Discus elbow from Rollins. Ducks a close on attempt from McIntyre. Hits a step up enziguri. Drops Drew to his knees.
Oh!
Super kick.
And Rollins might have it. No.
One.
One. And that's how strong McIntyre is. Rollins can't believe it. After all out offensive moves, and now he's going to go up. Rollins, again, doesn't go up that often, but when he does, it's effective.
Frog splash into cover. No, barely a two.
Two.
Does Seth need to burn McIntyre's life down?
Well, he's trying, but I mean, he's a messiah, but he's thinking, what can I do? You know, my God. I mean, don't get me wrong, the curb stomp's one of the most dangerous moves in WWE. That's why it's banned for a while. And now Rollins getting a steel chair.
Is that the place he needs to go to get a victory over Drew?
Well, he'll get disqualified, surely.
Don't call me Shirley. But is it just a distraction tactic?
Well, do not use it. I don't think Rollins is going to listen. He's taking his sweet-ass time. Let McIntyre recover.
Well, Seth realising he doesn't need to use it. Looks for a stomp. Gets caught by McIntyre. Hits him with a Glasgow kiss. McIntyre comes charging in. Seth sidesteps. Drew jumps over the top rope. Gets crutched by Seth.
Well, you can see how effective that move was for Seth Rollins. McIntyre struggling to breathe as he gets picked up now. And Rollins trying to use his own strength, but McIntyre fighting off.
Hits him with a second Glasgow kiss. McIntyre perched on top. Seth comes in though. Superplex. Seth rolls through.
Oh
Normally gets the Falcon Arrow.
God, Falcon hell.
Hits it. And Seth powering the weight of McIntyre up into cover. Two. No. Drew manages to kick out.
Well, Rollins and he cracked his spine there with the impact I've said him down. And now Rollins looking, and McIntyre's getting up same time as he is. And that's got to be a scary proposition. But now Rollins looking to put McIntyre away.
Looking for the stomp. McIntyre kicks it off. Future shock.
And that's it. It's over.
1,
2, 3.
No.
No. My God. Rollins managing to kick out.
Ah.
And McIntyre, serious trouble in that leg.
Is that why he went for the future shock as opposed to the Claymore kick? His leg is in that much trouble.
I think that's an excellent point. I didn't think McIntyre wanted to risk it at that time. But now he thinks he's got the other choice. Rollins has been effective with his job beating up McIntyre here tonight. Oh my God, McIntyre just placing Rollins on that top turnbuckle. Chop to the chest. And McIntyre now on the top.
Dragging Seth up, but Seth going for the chop block, crutching McIntyre.
Oh, and Rollins sending McIntyre to the tree of woe. God, and Rollins stepping on that left knee. But McIntyre...
Well, sits himself up, throws Seth at least halfway across the ring.
At least 3/4 across the ring. Folded inside out. Folded up like the accordion, as JR would say. And now McIntyre looking for it. No,
Seth catching with a super kick.
And now Rollins stomp.
That's it, new champion.
No.
2, 3. Oh.
McIntyre managing to kick out.
Ah.
Oh my word. Rollins comes so close. Oh, Rollins can't believe it. What's he got planned next?
Well, McIntyre's shoulder didn't come off the canvas with as much vigour as he did before.
You know, McIntyre now struggling. And Rollins now might be seconds away. Oh no.
Burn it down, Seth. Burn James is well down.
No. And here comes Rollins now. Another stomp.
No, McIntyre stands up. Glasgow kiss. Super kick. Claymore kick.
Oh, McIntyre hits it.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Well, what an ending that was. Like I said, Rollins super kick and then McIntyre, boom. One Claymore kick gets the job done. Dan, what are your thoughts on that match?
I thought it was, having a competitive match against Rollins, as good a talent that he is, you kind of need someone that matches McIntyre's strength for strength, that can bring out his immense talent that he's got.
Yeah, I actually quite enjoyed it. I like the fact that it got a little bit more time. We saw McIntyre hitting a couple of moves that, are really good. Showcase kind of his power and his kind of what he's all about. I enjoyed this one, and let's hope, from now, that's it between these two, and McIntyre can find other challenges. But I've been impressed so far tonight. I think it's been a good pay-per-view so far, and I think another good match as well. It means we both get another point, so it's 6 to me, 4 to you, Dan. But there are 2 matches left. They are going to take place at the same time, so it's going to be the women's Money in the Bank and the men's Money in the Bank. But Rollins looking on. Are we going to see a sign of respect? No. And McIntyre coming back in. And I mean, you love this, Dan. I know you do.
It's gone quiet.
Look at the marks of war between the two. McIntyre off in the hand. Rollins looking at it.
Saying, be a man. My hand.
Oh. Rollins shook McIntyre's hand. So that's a respect there. What are your thoughts on that, Dan?
Oh, is this another change for Rollins? Is he going to go back to face? What? I don't know. But
it definitely shows that he respects yours and mine WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. Alright, so this will be fun. We'll move over to WWE headquarters now for the main event. So both going to happen at the exact same time. The women's Money in the Bank and the men's Money in the Bank. So prediction-wise on this one, Dan, who is your women's Money in the Bank?
If it's alright by you, can I do them together? Because I actually went for my favourite sweet.
Alright, go on, you do them together then.
I went for blackjacks.
So why did you go blackjacks for?
Because I prefer them to fruit sounds. Ali B, he's my man. I think someone who's could be a bit of a dark horse in this match. And Nia Jax, she's returning. I think she wants to be booked strong as well.
We've got Lacey Evans, who of course is 5'8" from Paris Highland, women's right as a finisher. She beat Sasha Banks to qualify.
We've got Nia Jax, who's 6 foot from San Diego. Her finisher is the Annihilator, and she beat Kairi Sane to qualify for.
And now over to the men's Money in the Bank. And we've got AJ Styles, who's 5'11", 218 pounds, a phenomenal forearm calf crusher Styles clash, and he beat Humberto Carrillo to qualify.
And we've got Otis Dozovic, he's 5'10", 330 pounds. His signature move is a caterpillar, and he beat Dolph Ziggler to qualify for the Money in the Bank match.
And the men are starting off in the gym. The women are starting off in the elevator, and the next one up, it's Carmella. She's 5'5" from Staten Island, New York. The code of silence in the signature move, never knew that. And she beat Mandy Rose to qualify.
And also for the women, we have got James's pick, Shayna Baszler.
I'm not even going with my pick yet. Oh. Well, yes, my pick is basic on.
Yeah,
From Sioux Falls. Her finisher is the Kirifuda Clutch, and she beat Sarah Logan to qualify for the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, my picks are AJ Styles and Shayna Baszler. So we'll see if they can do anything. Oh, up next, it's Dan's pick, and it's Ali B, 6'3", 215 pounds, the Black Mass, and then he beat Austin Theory to qualify. He's facing off with my man AJ Styles straight away.
And also we have got King Corbin. He's 6'8", 285 pounds. The End of Days is his finisher, and he beat Drew Gulak to qualify for the Money in the Bank match.
And he's wearing his full King outfit as well, which you've got to appreciate. And we've got Dana Brooke, 5'3" from Cleveland, Ohio. Swanton Bomb Samoan Driver is the finisher. Good to know. She beat Naomi to qualify for this match. Of course, she's late because no one's ready for Asuka.
No, they wasn't ready for Asuka to make her entrance.
She might not have showed up, but here we go. Another guy.
For the men, it's Rey Mysterio, 5'6", 175 pounds. His signature move is 619 on the West Coast Pop, and he beat Buddy Murphy to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match.
And the final man out is Daniel Bryan, of course, 5'10", 210 pounds, the LaBelle Lock, running knee finishes, and he beats Cesaro to qualify. And the men are just about to start off in the gym, and the women are waiting for Asuka. Wait a minute, Asuka's up dancing already. And like I said, it's going to be difficult to try and call with both matches happening at the same 12 competitors in this match, but we hear the bell ring, and here we go.
And it is going to be absolute mayhem. Well, while the men's have started off, everyone pairing off, the women's have started off by Asuka jumping from a balcony, taking out all of the women in the match.
Oh my God. And they all come down. Has Asuka won this already? Come on. I know I've gone behind Asuka.
Well, she seems happy with herself. She's trying to get an elevator, but the elevator's not ready for Asuka.
I know, now she's in. And the other women are waiting, and Asuka's already got the advantage.
Crawling towards the doors as they close. No, well, Asuka's dancing in the elevator.
Asuka is having a great time. And
there's
then the
Baszler, Carmella, and some other woman take the stairs to get up.
Oh.
Mysterio and Black are facing off in the gym.
And then we've got Corbin and Bryan as well, doing a couple of squats.
Corbin's got himself a weight, smashed the mirror. That's 7 years bad luck for Baron.
Oh, he knows he's going to have to pay for that. And Otis and AJ going at it. You got the Phenomenal One and AJ Styles. And Bryan now fighting with Corbin. And this is all out war. And at the moment, Asuka's just in the elevator with these 6 guys beating the crap out of each other.
Oh, wow. Mysterio sends Ali first into a weight machine. Otis seems to be having a lot of fun bouncing Styles' head off of a paper towel dispenser.
Well, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I know that it's on the headquarters. They've got to make the way there. But, oh, wait a minute. AJ's in trouble. Oh, it's got to wait.
Oh, and he just places it. Pins him there.
And I was saying, you're not going to go anywhere now. AJ asking Ray to help.
Well, he's saying, no. Styles is pinned there, James. Don't think much for your pick.
No.
Unable to move. As Bryan's getting chased by Corbin, who's getting chased by Ali B. And Otis is bringing up the rear. Rey Mysterio coming. Here he goes. Rey Mysterio needs a quick piss. Oh. Brother Love. Just been for a shit.
But he loves him still. I love you. At least he washed his hands. Fair enough.
Indeed.
And now Bryan chasing after, or getting chased by Corbin.
He's getting chased by Ali B. Ali B turns round and takes out Otis.
And this is just complete slugfest at this moment. It's a complete slugfest at this moment in time. And now Mysterio's finally joined up with the rest of the group, but he's not sure where they've gone. And
Baszler,
Lacey Evans,
and Carmella are fighting up the stairs, trying to get to the elevator to halt Asuka in her tracks.
Well, their contracts are on the roof, and here we go.
Oh, the men come spilling out of an elevator in front of the women. Asuka's still coming up.
Well, Asuka's using their brains here, avoiding everybody.
Wow, Shayna Baszler caught sight of her.
Come on, Baszler, you can do it. And now this kind of mock-up ring is where the wrestlers are fighting.
Well, it's the closest to a ring environment these guys are getting to.
And Black wondering where he should beat up Otis or Try and find that contract. Otis shouting yes as Brian kicks Corbin. And that's what you get. Brian with the kicks to Otis. Well, Corbin, Daniel Bryan have both won Money in the Bank, so they have a little bit of experience, but it means nothing in this one.
Absolutely not, no. Doink the Clown?
Well, saying that kind of looks like Doink just stuck his head over. And Dana Brooke and Baszler, along with Carmella now, trying to find Oscar. Jack shows up.
Wow, she gets slapped by Carmella and rammed into a boardroom.
Yeah, right through the door. And so does Dana Brooke now. We're going to have a conference meeting. Baszler sending Brooke over the table. Now Jackson Baszler fighting off.
That's a standoff that we haven't seen.
Baszler, to her credit, didn't back down.
And then she got knocked down by Nia Jax, her hair up. And then Brooke with a chair, dropping Nia Jax.
And Dana Brooke looking at a Money in the Bank briefcase above the desk.
Full of cash.
And Dana Brooke might have thought she's won it. There's a briefcase with all the cash in. Well, Stephanie's video put in there as saying, that's not the real briefcase.
It doesn't even actually look like she's there.
No, she's not. No, like, they've not even tried. They've just kind of like put the video in.
Carmella takes the picture of her winning Money in the Bank off the wall and just whacks it over Dana Brooke's head.
Well, moonwalks her way out of there and might win another Money in the Bank. And nope.
Well, the woman's right.
She's got every right to do that. So now we know Oscar. AJ finally got the weights in him. Thank God for that.
Well, he's looking for Rey Mysterio and face to face with a picture of him.
AJ punching it for good measure. Oh, look, Roman Reigns. I think it was the first reference we've had since Mania. And AJ looking for Ray. And AJ seems a bit off put.
Oh, comes face to face with a picture of The Undertaker.
Well, the man that buried him alive.
He's gingerly going past that picture of Taker, trying to find Rey Mysterio.
Boneyard match. And AJ don't want any of that. But Ali B there. Huge kick to the face, sending AJ into his own personal hell. And look at Ali B, Dan, he's smirking.
No, James hasn't got a cigarette in his gob, he's got a smile on his face. He's just kicked the head off of AJ.
And now Paul Heyman is enjoying the hospitality backstage. Uh-oh, now it might not be too good as here come the men and the women. And we're getting a face-off between both Money in the Bank matches. Well, who are you going to pick, Dan? Is it the women, is it the men?
The women.
Here comes Dana Brooke, still with a portrait on her. And Otis got a hot dog, and he's firing up. Fight! Heyman gets it in the face. They can't believe it. Even Aleister Black shot. And here we go. Foo Fighters on.
In the middle of a Money in the Bank ladder match.
Well, here we go. It is what it is. There'll be no food eating here tonight. And Baszler's got Mysterio.
In a Kirifuda clutch.
Oh!
Then Mysterio gets splattered in between Otis and Nia Jax.
And Mysterio in serious trouble. Bryan and Black fighting. And Heyman covered in food trying to protect himself. You know, one person I can't see in all of this? Oscar. I don't know where Oscar's gone.
She's made her way up to the roof.
Oh, Dana Brooke's taking the portrait off her head. But now got caught round her throat.
Thrown into a soft drinks machine. Can't use brand names.
Well, Carmella went for the kick. Nia Jax caught her though. Powerbomb.
Oh, straight through that food table.
And I think that brings the end to the food fight. Now Jax fighting with Otis. He's having a bite to eat. Oh, I thought they were going to run at each other for a second there, but Jax leaving Otis in the other direction. And Otis now getting a bit off put by this.
Those are snacks, some pies.
He shouldn't have come to this place here. And it's John Laurinaitis.
People power. John Laurinaitis.
Well, Laurinaitis gets pied. What would that sound like, Dan?
In the face with a pie.
And Otis running off.
Well, do you know why Otis doesn't eat that pie?
Why?
Because he's eating Mandy Rose's pie.
Oh, and now we're going to clean. Here comes, there's Oscar. Oscar asking where the roof is. Uh-oh, now here come the rest of the women. Oscar trying to buy him. And Jax, Baszler, and Carmella afterwards. Oh, it was slippery. Dana Brooke.
He didn't have a slippery when wet sign down there.
Well, slipped and banged her head.
Well, Baszler's caught up with Oscar.
And Lacey Evans in there now trying to grab Baszler.
And now Jax throws her against the wall.
And Jack's taken out. Lacey Evans going to hunt for Oscar. Oscar's getting further and further up the pyramid though.
Come on now, Jax, you can get there.
And now Lacey Evans joins the fray. Going up the stairs and Bryan and Black.
Still going at it.
And here comes, yes, Mike.
Back into the mix.
AJ gets stopped by Daniel Bryan. And now into the door, into the office. AJ on the table with Bryan.
Is that Vince? That is Vince.
What the hell? Vince McMahon's there.
Bryan and Styles stop in their tracks, shouts at them to get out.
Bryan pointed at AJ like it was his fault.
They decide to rearrange the furniture in McMahon's office.
And Bryan and AJ are going to get out.
Vince purehours his hands.
Vince cleans his hands of the whole situation. And AJ over going at Bryan, saying he acted like a coward. Then back to fighting.
Now Corbin's got some sort of weapon.
When he shows up, takes out AJ and Bryan. Now here comes Aleister Black. Corbin sending Bryan over the table. And Corbin looks a bit more motivated now. He's just beating up all these three guys. Could the King become Money in the Bank?
Well, he's certainly heading towards the roof. The roof is on.
So here we go, final stage now in this match. We're on the roof of WWE headquarters. And it's going to be interesting. We can see the ring with the Money in the Bank in the middle of it.
And there's the two briefcases.
And here come Oscar and Nia Jax. And it's a precarious position they're in now as they get in the ring.
On the roof of corporate.
We would have thought we'd ever seen this as Oscar fights Jax off. Here comes Evans.
Takes down Oscar. It's caught by Jax though. So this was just getting to the ring to start the Money in the Bank match. This is going to go on for hours.
And that's quite a cool shot of the ring with Jax inside dominating at the moment in time. Evans getting checked on by the referee. And Nia Jax, Dan, your pick getting the ladder.
Go on, Nia.
I don't know how she's going to climb it. No reinforced ladders here. And where the hell is Baszler? Come on, Baszler. Nowhere to be seen as Jax sets up the ladder.
Go on, Nia. Get up there. No, Oscar grabs hold of Nia's leg.
And Oscar's stopping her now, and then a huge combination. Well,
spinning back elbow, gets stopped by Jax, so throws her into the ladder.
If Baszler can't win this, then I want Oscar to win. As women's right by Lacey Evans.
Well, Lacey looks set to on the ladder.
And this could be it now for the women's Money in the Bank match. But it's Oscar again pulling Evans off.
Just climbing the ladder. Jax was getting up. Oscar stopped her climb and just used the ladder as a weapon to cave Nia's skull.
Now Oscar setting up the ladder, looking to get the Money in the Bank briefcase.
No, she gets stopped by Evans, bouncing Oscar's head off the ladder, throws her down to the mat.
And now Evans going to go up.
No, Oscar regains some composure to try and drag Evans off.
Oscar and Evans now just battling it out. It could go either way at this moment in time. Evans now and Oscar at the top of the ladder. Oscar fighting back. Evans falls off onto Jax. Oscar hanging on.
Can she make it up them last couple of rungs to victory? Or can Nia and get the briefcase?
Well, Jax got taken out by Evans. It's Oscar alone at this moment in time. And here comes Corbin. And Corbin's going to go out with Oscar. And Corbin's stopping Oscar from getting it.
Why would Corbin do that? Why didn't he just go for the men's one?
Well, he got in the way. Oscar now on top of the ladder. Can she do it? Where's Baszler? No one's there.
Oscar has got the women's Money in the Bank briefcase.
Wow. Oscar's Money in the Bank, the women's Money in the Bank. It wasn't Nia Jax, wasn't Baszler. It was Oscar. My God. Dan, what are your thoughts on that? That's a surprise.
That was, yeah, Oscar, I thought the push had kind of come and gone for her, but, the possibilities certainly seem endless.
Well, it means it's 6-4 still on predictions. As Oscar wins this one, the men's Money in the Bank still continues. I can't believe this Oscar wins. I'm pretty pleased, actually. If Baszler weren't going to win, Oscar would be my second choice, I would think.
I'd say Oscar would be my second pick as well.
And now she's got a chance to, she can go after the NXT Women's Championship, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, or of course Bayley as well. And here comes Otis. Big dose. Then he tripped his way in. He struggled with the ladder on SmackDown. Can he get up this time?
Come on, Ali B. Stop him.
Uh-oh. And again, the rungs are put out on him.
Oh, Corbin stops him. Oh, please, anyone but Baron bloody Corbin. Baron collapses the ladder, sends it into the midsection of Otis.
And now Corbin running in. Otis moving out the way.
Baron drops. You know what this means?
Are we going to see it?
The Caterpillar.
Well, he usually reserves his Caterpillar for Mandy Rose, but he hit it on Corbin here tonight. And Ali B with a black mass kick.
Come on, Ali B.
Taking out Otis. Here comes Mysterio. Oh, my God.
Seated senton on Otis.
Mysterio and Black fighting over the ladder.
Come on, Ali B. You're bigger than him.
Right, sure picking Mysterio. Fighting off. They're going to climb now.
Ali's up higher. Punch him in the face, Ali. Black mass kick off the ladder.
Here comes AJ. Come on, AJ.
Oh, no. Hangs both Ali B and Ray up to dry.
Yes, takes both men out. And now Corbin's got Mysterio. Oh, my God.
Baron's just murdered Mysterio.
Corbin sent Mysterio over the side of WWE headquarters. Now he's got your pick, Dan. Alistair Black. No!
Ali's dead.
Your pick's dead. Well, we've never had that in a WWE match. I can't believe Corbin just threw him off the side of headquarters. Now it's AJ, surely, to get the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Well, don't call me Shirley, but this is one time I hope Baron Corbin interrupts.
No, it's Brian climbing.
Yeah, Brian will be my second pick.
Well, Corbin stopping Brian. Otis up.
Got the leg of AJ Styles.
Come on, AJ. Corbin sends Brian into the ring post.
With a Pele kick on Otis. Charges him in the corner but gets thrown over the top rope. Catch him with a forearm.
Come on, AJ.
Lines up for the phenomenal one.
Boom.
Hits Otis with it.
And now Styles, all he's got to do is climb that ladder and get the briefcase. Come on, AJ.
Come on, Corbin, Otis, Daniel Bryan, anyone.
You said anyone.
Yeah, but anyone but you getting another point.
Come on, AJ. As he climbs up, Corbin on the other side. AJ just a fingertip away.
But Corbin's up there hampering him.
Come on, Corbin. Stop being such a hamperer. Corbin's got the briefcase, so's AJ. Even these men going to win it. Come on, AJ.
Well, it's unclipped.
Well, both men got hold of the briefcase.
AJ and Corbin wrestling it down. Elias is back there.
He cost Corbin. AJ drops the briefcase.
Otis catches it.
No! You're joking.
Big Doze. Accidentally walks into the ladder. Sends Styles.
Otis Dozovic has won the 2020 Men's Money in the Bank.
Yes.
Oh my God. I cannot believe that. Elias shows up, costs Corbin. AJ drops the briefcase.
Fumbles it straight into the hands of Otis.
Well, it's good. Touchdown.
Oh, yeah!
Otis. Well, you've been an Otis fan for a very long time, Dan. What are your thoughts on him winning Money in the Bank?
I would never have thought he would be holding the Money in the Bank briefcase, but things are coming up Otis 2020, so why the fuck not?
Unbelievable. Well, Mandy Rose and now Money in the Bank. It's been quite a night. Money in the Bank's finished. Oscar and Otis are your winners. My God. All right, so let's just go and just recap the night. First up, Cesaro versus Jeff Hardy. Dan, what thoughts on?
Yeah, it was a good match. I think both of these guys certainly deserve a lot better than what they're getting. I would love to have seen them in the ladder match, but having a very good standout match of their own, give them plenty of time on the kickoff show as well. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I gave that 3.5 out of 5.
I gave that a 3 3/4 out of 5.
We had the tag match to start off the show proper. Of course, New Day, Miz and Morrison, Forgotten Sons, and of course, Lucha House Party. I thought this was a great match between all four teams. They really showed what they could do. All close. Forgotten Sons were still protected, and I think the right team won with the New Day as well. I think it was a really good match.
Yeah, absolutely. You pretty much summed it up there. I gave that a 3.5 out of 5.
I gave that a 4 out of 5. And then we had, it wasn't really a proper match, was it? It should have been MVP versus Truth. And then Lashley came out and got the quick victory. 3 out of 5, a very basic match, I thought.
Yeah, I gave that a 3 out of 5 as well.
And then we had Bayley versus Tamina for the women's title.
Again, you can't help but believe this is going to lead up to a bigger story between Bayley and Sasha Banks, how Bayley can't get by winning without the help of Sasha Banks. And, this might be a ploy by Banks, you don't know, but it's an interesting story to see unfold. Unfortunately, though, it was quite a slow match. I don't know if that was because Tamina Snuka was involved, but it was still entertaining, especially the finish of it.
Yeah, I gave that a 3.25 out of 5.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. 3.25 out of 5.
We had Braun versus Bray again, the story told. I mean, it wasn't really much of a match, so to speak, but I think the ending with the kind of black sheep and the storyline leading into it will continue. I gave that a 3.5 out of 5 of that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. 3.5 out of 5.
And then Rollins versus McIntyre.
Wow, the Messiah, I'm getting a bit bored on that with Seth Rollins' kind of mentions of himself. The Monday Night Messiah, it just doesn't sit right with me. The match itself, though, it was a very good, very entertaining match. I think Seth Rollins put up maybe a bit too much of a fight against Drew McIntyre. I know he's the more experienced in pay-per-views, in title matches, and that, so, maybe it could have been nerves, but Drew McIntyre doesn't seem the type to be kind of held back by nerves.
No, I don't think so, but I really enjoyed the match. This is actually, I gave it a 4.25 out of 5.
Yeah, I gave that a 4.25 out of 5 too.
And then the men's and women's Money in the Bank matches are both kind of the same thing, really, weren't they? I don't know. I mean, I don't think I liked them as much as the WrestleMania matches, you know, with the Firefly Funhouse and stuff. It was good, but it wasn't a proper Money in the Bank in a way, was it? You know, they could have maybe shot on the roof if they wanted to do it in that way, but there were some moments that were quite funny, weren't they, you know?
Yeah, I certainly think the concept was a different one, which is good. It kind of mixes up the Money in the Bank ladder match as we know it. I thought it was very entertaining. I'm not too keen on the little shuts and cuts, but the bits with, you know, Paul Heyman, Brother Love, John Laurinaitis, and even Vince McMahon making his first WWE appearance in I don't know how long.
Yeah, without doubt. I mean, it's quite interesting, but I mean, I don't want to be hard. I mean, I gave it 3.5 out of 5. I don't know if that's harsh or not.
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
I thought, you know, again, it was something to change up, because if it would have been, like, you know, out of lockdown protocols, it would have just been a standard Money in the Bank ladder match. And I think it would have kind of taken a bit away from what it was.
Yeah, I mean, we're never going to have something like this again, I don't think. So I think that's what makes it kind of special. But we talk about our match of the night. It was Rollins versus McIntyre, I think it was, wasn't it? Definitely. My man or woman of the night, Asuka. She was hilarious in Money in the Bank. That was one of the shining lights. And there to get the victory. I hope she's a nice and long run with the championship now.
Indeed, yes. My man of the night, I'd have to say Big E. Yep. Because he entertains throughout the matches, and I hope he gets a push soon.
Out of 10?
Out of 10, I would have to say, it was light-hearted, it was fun. I think the matches were thoroughly entertaining. There wasn't too much of a boring moment.
Yeah. I would say an 8.25.
I'm going to give it an 8.5 just because I thought there wasn't like a true standout match, but I think the pay-per-view flew along, and I think for being like 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2.5 hours as it was, I think it's worthwhile. It's definitely worth a watch, and it's definitely saying it's nice to be doing something different in WWE's perspective as well. It means final scores were 6-4. It's not a great night overall, but 5-4 on pay-per-views to me now. But of course, like I said, they announced a Backlash next month as well, so we'll bring that to you in June. All right, so that's nearly it. But what we wanted to do, we tweeted out and asked everybody what they thought of Money in the Bank, and we're just going to read out a few replies now.
Yes, well, the first one was THBKTTAM, hashtag T. And they said, first of all, Tamina should have won the SmackDown Women's title. She deserves a good title run. She's a tremendous athlete and very much underrated. It could have been given to the women's division. It could have given the women's division a whole new dimension. Second, tag titles should have changed hands.
Brandon R. Scan said, I was hoping Lucha House Party would win the SmackDown Tag Team titles. It was nice to see them have their time in the sun. At first I thought the Forgotten Sons would take it, but as I was watching the match I was rooting for HP. It's probably too early for the Forgotten Sons, but Grand Metallic and
Lince Dorado
should win the titles next. In saying that, maybe Kalisto should win the IC title.
Good haul for the Lucha House Party. Jim said, it's time for the boss to stop being Bayley's sidekick and be the boss again. She's probably top 5 in the company, so they should use her that way. He also went on to say, no Firefly Funhouse or even Bray at the end was just a huge miss. The only way it's excusable to not have him on SmackDown if he is physically unable, which I have no reason to believe that's the case. So, thumbs down.
We had that. This is awesome. The great one, Jay. Money Bank was probably the best pay-per-view since they started the no crowd in attendance. I can go all day about the show. Well, at Amishman 9000 said 7 out of 10 for Money in the Bank.
Rocky 316.3 said a good pay-per-view, 9 out of 10.
He also said he had nothing to complain about the results or the way the show was produced. Honestly, hope to see more of the product the way it was done from now on. That was his 2 cents from Money in the Bank.
Yes, THBKTTAM, hashtag TAM, said not bad. And then the WNR podcast said out of 10, 7.
Michael J. Morillas said, depending on the outcome, the Mr. Money in the Bank match winner rule stated is AJ Styles. So hopefully that gets sorted out.
Ian Jackson said, most fun I've had watching a WWE pay-per-view in a long time. And give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Roll Up and Wrestle gave it a 5 out of 10. So they did not enjoy it. And that was the kind of responses from Money Back. But it's good to get response from other people, isn't it? When they didn't.
It is.
I mean, I think our rating's a little bit different just because of the way we look at shows as well. And I think, we would never probably give I think Crown Jewel maybe got a 5 out of 10, but apart from that. But we appreciate, like we said, everybody's feedback from Money in the Bank. We had then Monday Night Raw.
Right, so Asuka was named the new Raw Women's Champion on Monday episode of Raw in conjunction with Becky Lynch announcing her pregnancy. And while it came as a surprise to fans watching at home, it reportedly was a surprise to Asuka as well. According to sources, Asuka was not aware that she had become champion until Monday. Lynch revealed that the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which was taped a few weeks ago at WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, was actually for the Raw Women's title rather than a contract for a title match. Johnson noted that Asuka didn't know at the time of the match that it was for the title, and since she wasn't informed of the situation until she arrived at the Raw tapings on Monday, her on-screen reaction was legitimately shocked and excitement. After Lynch handed the title over to Asuka, she danced all around the ring and up the top of the ramp. It was then that Becky Lynch said she was pregnant, which elicited another joyful response from Asuka as she sent the man off with a hug. With that, Lynch's 399-day reign as Raw Women's Champion was over. Started with Asuka reigning over the Raw Women's division. Asuka has essentially seen and done it all in WWE. Now that she has been rewarded for all the fine work she has done in recent weeks. She is a Grand Slam champion, having held the Raw Women's, SmackDowns, NXT and WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, as well as winning Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank.
Wow, that is incredible achievements from Asuka. And then, the Becky Lynch thing, I mean, it was a great segment. And like we said, congratulations to Becky Lynch. What are your thoughts on Asuka becoming champion and Becky Lynch becoming a mum?
Seth Rollins puts another wrestler on the shelf with his careful ring skills. It's absolutely great. Becky Lynch becoming a mum. All the best to her and hope it's a healthy baby.
All right, so I did the tweets as well about The Undertaker at the last ride. You can check out the thread on Twitter as well, and we'll be doing part 2 for you next week. We had Matt Hardy as well on Twitter, much like Will Ospreay, talk about Vanguard 1 and going down, and we'd just like to say thank you for the retweet on that one. And also, we had Naomi. We were doing SmackDown last night, live tweeting, and it's really interesting because out of all the tweets, it was Naomi one really that kind of had the most reaction. We were just saying that she should be kind of used more as well. All right, before we go, Lo, we're going to end, and it's the Twitter follower of the week, Dan. So would you announce that for us?
Silence, please. It is our Twitter follower of the week is Tyler Wolfrick. At Tyler Wolfrick.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Tyler. We'll be contacting you. You let us know what you want to see. And just like to thank everybody for their comments as well on Twitter. And, of course, we'll be on there throughout the times that you can't hear us on the podcast. But our next episode will be NXT Update. Yes, we'll be delving into NXT then. But until then, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at WNR287 Review or
at Vince McDan WWE.
I'm at J_Rollins across all the Google platforms. Send us an email to WNRpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook. Come and find our page and give us a like with a WNR podcast.
Instagram and YouTube, the WNR podcast. Clips go up on YouTube. Like you said, all the videos from RevPro and everything like that are on there as well. Just subscribe there. Podcast go up at the same time. YouTube, there are places like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
We're also on Spreaker Radio, iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. But that is it. Like I said, we really enjoyed Money in the Bank, and we look forward to NXT Update as well. But that is it. I have been Rollins, and as always, I was joined by
Dan White.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and bye.
Bye.